All right,
All right, so I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Kent Park and Recreation Commission for Monday, March 18th to order at 7:01 PM. And I don't see Miranda, so we're not even able to elevate her if we needed. Approval of agenda. Um,
So moved.
Matt, did you want to add something to the agenda?
yes. There's a few items I would like to add.
Why
I
don't you
would
go
like to
ahead?
add item 5B, the senior center policy on programs. I uploaded the information. It's a correspondence from Sam, and it's the policy and approval list that she and Rosemary have put together as a department in order to approve programs for the senior center. I would also like to add the following items as well to 8C. Kent Commons Playground update to give everybody an update on the status of the playground and the building of the bench that's there. Items 8C3, the story walk in Emory, which is a thing the library has kindly given an opportunity to us to do. Item 8C4, temporary pause on the dog policy in Emory Park. Item 8C5, a new trail in Emory Park. Item 8D2, Kate wants to talk about ASP, so an ASP update from Kate Simmons. Item 8F, number 3, concert series. And then that's it for me.
Okay, and I would like to move 8A to the next item. So we'll go into executive session and then Lynn, when we come out of an executive session, I've asked Lynn to take over for me because I had a conflict arise at the last minute. But so we'd like to move the executive session to discuss perspective. No, 8A, to discuss program personnel up. So could I have a motion to accept the agenda with all those additions and changes?
Just for clarification, is the personnel that we're talking about, is it just do we need to worry about anybody we're actually talking about? They need to be allowed to,
No,
they need to
we're
be
not gonna,
notified.
no, they don't need to be notified. Not at this, we're not gonna take any action. Matt and I would like just to share some things that we found out.
Okay.
And,
But I just want to make sure, because
yeah,
you have to let people have the opportunity if we're
no,
talking
we're
about
not gonna
them.
be doing that. So at this stage,
But is it policy type stuff? Because if it's policy type stuff, we should be talking about that in person, in regular session.
um, it relates to personnel decisions and things, so that's
Okay, all right.
we'd like to do for now.
Okay.
And then we'll come out.
Rufus, before we do it, do you wanted that right after approval of agenda or?
Yeah,
Okay, not approval of previous meeting minutes?
He said right after.
Okay, perfect. Just making sure.
I'm gonna ask for, just to be clear, I think we should also have approval of temporary chairman. I just don't want anybody to like say that we're not doing things right by you turning it over to me, Rufus. So I'm gonna ask that we should do that right after the
okay.
8A. We'll add something, I don't know what that'll be.
We'll
but
do that when we come out.
Yeah. I didn't get all the the things that you rattled off, Matt. So do you mind going through that again?
Definitely.
Since I'm going to be running the meeting.
Yes, absolutely. So
Okay.
just to repeat, we're gonna have the following items added. Item 5B, Senior Center Policy Program under correspondence. Item 8C, we're gonna add item 8C2, Kent Commons Playground Update. Item 8C3, Story Walk in Emery Park. Item 8C4, Temporary Dog Policy removal in Emery Park, or Temporary Dog Policy Pause in Emery Park. 8C5, New Trail in Emery Park. 8D2, ASP Update by Kate. 8F number 3, Concert Series Update.
Yeah, it's gone. I put you there because you wanted to burn everything.
And one other question I had was, can we talk about any programs under current programs?
Sure.
Is it okay, even if it's not on the agenda? Because like I'm looking for updates on pickleball, senior art group, trips, which are all things that we've talked about in the past, but
8D3, programs that have been discussed and will be updated.
okay, great.
Yep, we'll add that one. 8D3.
Is there a
All right.
motion to accept the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Thank you, Kate. A second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so. The next thing, Matt, would be to, let's go into executive session. I guess put Lynn in the waiting room. And
I'll make a motion at 7:08 to go into executive session on personnel.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Kate, you seconded
Okay.
that?
You
Or who
did.
seconded that one?
I did.
It was
I did.
Kate.
All
Yep,
right, thank
yep.
you. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Lynn, we will bring you back in once we are all done in executive session. And I'm gonna pause the recording.
So we're coming out of executive session at 7:35 PM and there was no action or motions to be made at this time. And I'd like to someone to make a motion to have Lynn Worthington take over as chairman of the meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second to that? Karen, thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? I appreciate it and I apologize to everybody. It's just a conflict I can't get out of. And so I've gone over all the other items pretty much with Matt ahead of time and I know what he's thinking and I'm pretty much in agreement with everything there. Okay. And thank you very much, Lynn, for doing this. I
No
appreciate
problem.
All right. Thank you, Rufus.
it. Good night, all.
Good night.
I
See ya.
will listen to this later.
All right, so moving on, approval of previous meeting minutes. We have February 26th and March 11th. Do you want to do them individually or can we do them together?
I think we did them together last time.
You didn't do them
Well,
together.
It's really a choice, so, yeah. I will tell you, Matt, that there's one that we have not approved from back in, I think it's October, that we skipped over and there was a concern because Kate was not listed as attending, but
I
The-
thought that was corrected, Lynn. I think
No,
that was
but
corrected.
yeah, it was discussed, but we never approved the minutes.
Oh,
So, yeah. So we need to approve them with the amendment. That's the typical way to do it. And it didn't get done. So I'm just bringing that up so we can finally get that done. Next
Awesome.
month.
Do we want to do that as part of? We'll do
We
two
can't
motions.
because, you know,
No. not
you
in
know,
the
it's
doc.
not in the meeting folder. People probably haven't read them and I will also say that, and I'm happy to make this as a motion, but I think it's really important that you give people time to read this stuff. So I really think it's important to have it 48 hours in advance. Cause like you put stuff, there's stuff in here that was put in at 11
Yep.
AM today.
The stuff from Sam that was,
Yeah,
that
I-
stuff was put in because Sam just gave it to me. So that's why.
But I
added it to
don't,
the
I
agenda,
didn't have
so-
time. I didn't have time to read it today. So
Okay.
I just think that's unfair to the commission members to expect them to be reading it the same day.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know if other people feel the same way, but that's how I feel.
No, and I am sorry that is the way that I am making you feel. That was the information that was given to me and I felt was pertinent to get to the commission. So that's why I wanted to add it as an additional agenda item, and that's why I did share it. I didn't want to leave you all in the dark, and I know that Mahjong is going to be a conversation of topic today. So that's why I wanted to bring it up, because we are going to be talking about Mahjong, and I wanted to have this since I have this information privy to me, I wanted to share it with the commission. And it was given to me just today with an email from Sam dated just from today that this is the policy that was finalized. So I needed to, I know it was last minute, and I
No,
apologize.
I
Sam.
understand. I understand, but
So,
it makes
I
it hard
can't-
to act
wanna
on
make-
things if you don't have time to read through them, is my
I
point.
totally understand.
So anyway, are you guys good at doing the two minutes?
Yes.
For February and March 11th? Okay, can I have a motion?
make a motion to approve the minutes from February 26, 2024 and March 11th, 2024.
Can I
Second,
have- Thank you, Blythe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any abstaining or opposed? Okay, I think that was unanimous. Moving forward, correspondence, executive session to discuss prospective commission members. I hate to bring this up, but I do not think this is a appropriate topic for executive session. When I went to the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities and went to an FOI session, I asked the attorney who was giving the session afterwards, I asked the specific question, is it okay to have an executive session, call it personnel, and talk about prospective commission members? And she said she did not think so. I have not asked Randy DeBella, but this is not personnel. And that is one of the exemptions to the FOI Act. Now, we do have an FOI session tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, which hopefully Rufus told everybody about. I'm not sure he did.
I know about it.
Okay, good. I think you might, did you know about it through the Board of Ed? Karen and Blythe, did you know about it?
About the FOI?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got an email. I got an
Okay,
email.
Good, good. Glad to hear it.
Like, you didn't get an
Um,
email?
Yeah.
But it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. and
tomorrow
that's the
night.
hike.
I know, and it conflicts with the hike. And if
Mhm.
anybody who's not going on the hike, I think I would recommend you be on to attend it. And I do think it's going to be recorded. So hopefully if you can't do it,
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
When is-
Anyway, so I would recommend that we not go into executive
Like-
session.
Like
On-
at 6 p.m. tomorrow night.
okay, thanks.
I can send you the info
Okay,
I think you can see it on Zoom too, I think.
Mhm.
in person.
It'll be Zoom, and then
Zoom.
it's also going to be recorded. So,
Yeah.
So
It's
I spoke
hybrid.
to-
It's hybrid, so.
it's hybrid. Yep. I spoke to Darlene about the executive session, which is why it's listed on here as executive session. She said that has been the consistent practice so far, that we go into executive session to talk about new commission members. So that is just so everyone is aware why I put it on there. However, it is, if the commission wants to make a discretionary decision on not going into executive session to talk about new commission members and go through the docket. It is publicly listed and it's in the folder, so you can read the docket for all those that have interest in becoming commission members. And it's your call. So I was just going off of the information I received from our town clerk.
I checked with Marty today, just double check, and he said, no, he didn't think it was appropriate. So
No, I'm just
I hear you. I hear you. It has been a practice that
Yeah.
the Board of Finance has done. I know that. I think even the Board of Ed has done it. So I just don't think it's actually appropriate.
Yeah.
But you guys can decide how you want to do it. If somebody thinks it's appropriate and they want to do it, they can make a motion to go into executive session.
My feeling is if this is, I mean, I know we've done executive session for commission applicants before. If other departments are doing executive session, it sounds like it's a question that should be raised at a town level. For
Right.
not just us, but them. And so I would stick with our procedure as we've been doing it. That would be my vote.
I just don't want us, I hate for us to be doing something that's against the law and we get caught with a, being a complaint again. So,
Yeah.
Can we add this to Andy's or Randy's items that he has to go through?
well, John, we're gonna have a session with a gentleman from the FOI Commission tomorrow night at 6 o'clock in Town Hall. So I will
Yes,
make
okay.
sure to ask this question.
Could
We
we,
just
could
don't
we
know what the
table this
answer is.
discussion? Could we
Yes,
table
please
this
do.
discussion and maybe we
Let's
could
table it,
have a
table it, table it, table it.
table it and
Table.
have a special session just on the commissioner, maybe once we get that answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe we all decide to consider all the applicants and then come to the meeting and just have a vote. So to avoid an awkward discussion of other,
Right.
I mean, I think, and do it that way. Let's table it.
Okay,
I make a motion, we table it, item 5A.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
good.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. We're good to go. We are to the point of public comment.
Wait a minute, time out. They added senior programs to that. Oh, where is
Yes.
that? I think Ruth
Item
has added
5B.
that.
Oh, you're
senior
right,
center
senior,
policy.
sorry, 5B. Thank you, John, keeping me on track. Okay, so senior center policy on programs.
Yes, and again, I apologize that this information could not be sent to you sooner. Sam gave it to me and said this is it. So, yes, Karen.
Where is it? Because I don't have any supporting documents when I open it up. On the agenda, when it says
Yeah.
click here for supporting documents.
Yeah, here, I'll put it in the group chat.
Why are balloons going over my face?
I don't know, Kate, what are you celebrating?
Happy birthday.
Happy
Okay.
birthday.
So I put
Policies,
the link
yay.
for the
No, but seriously.
folder.
I don't know.
That was pretty good. Who did that?
It happened twice.
That was not me.
Matt, when you create these folders, are they open for viewing for anybody? It
Correct, they
doesn't,
are.
you don't need a Gmail account, right?
Yep, it's open to everyone.
Because I don't have anything on the senior.
So when you click on that link, you still can't see anything, Karen?
Well, I have to go on I can't click it on the computer. Otherwise it says everyone can see what I'm looking at. So I'll have to do it after, I guess.
You should be able to click on the link in the chat and it just opens up another window.
Right, but it says that people can see all people. Well, I'll do it. And if you can see it, then so
You just
be
see
it.
that you're online viewing the document, or it shows that there's an anonymous user, however you're set up on your accounts, that is viewing the document.
Okay, I'll check it later. I don't want to take time to do this, so I'll check it later. Because I click on the little thing on your agenda where it says supporting documents, but there's nothing that comes up there.
I will look
I'm
into
not-
it on your end.
But
No,
we can do that later, so that's okay. I'll get you later.
And I can verify that when you click on the link for shared
Okay.
documents, it does bring you to it and it is open to everybody. So then that was a good question, but it does work.
Okay,
Yep. So just to give everyone's backstory, Sam today gave me her policy on the senior center. Again, I apologize that this could not have been done sooner. When Sam gave this to me, I knew that we were having a commission meeting tonight, so I really wanted to have the conversation about this and just share it with everyone. I'm not asking for action. I'm not asking for anything. I am just sharing with you the information so that everyone is knowledgeable as to what the senior center is asking of us moving forward for any sort of programs. Essentially, the senior center will receive a proposal for a program and or an invitation for someone to do a program. They'll determine if the program is for seniors and if it is of interest for the department. They'll research whoever's doing the program. They'll look at the program, the skill level, if it's a commercial enterprise or not. And then they have an approvals list. And these are the items on their approval list. Program must only be for 60+ seniors and their caregivers. Programs must be open to any Kent senior who wishes to attend. Non-residents are not permitted at this time. Commercial program providers may not charge attendees a fee, but may ask for a donation. Seniors who are unable to pay may not be excluded. Program leaders will commit to holding the program on the advertised day unless canceled by the senior center director. Program leaders will use the senior center sign-in sheet for each program and will leave it by the social services box. Liability insurance may be required as stated above. All program leaders must sign and acknowledge the senior center rules, and then seniors will not be required to provide their own materials for the activity. Then there's a backside for information about program leader acknowledgement, and then it's the sign off for that information. I am just sharing this with you as we as a commission come together and create programs and approve programs. What we do from that point on, after we approve them, we then have to go to Sam and say, this is our program. And then she has to go through the process with me. So this is just me sharing this with you. This is coming from another department. We don't oversee the senior center. Sam does. So this is her policy that she has in place for the senior center.
It sounds like it's a lot of duplication of what we do, though. I
It
mean, we're
is-
vetting the program.
Yeah.
Is this, and there's no reference to Park and Rec. It's like they're gonna treat us like everybody else.
Correct.
I don't get that. Does that seem odd to anybody else?
Yes, yes.
yes.
I can ask Sam why if we can be exempt from this process. But this is what she has in place as of now for all programs moving forward. I think it's because of her best interest for making sure that the programs are for seniors who are 60+ and ensuring that all supplies are provided.
Is
'Cause
this
those are
does
really
this seem
two
like a
highlighted things
relatively,
there.
does this seem like a relatively new document? Maybe she's just sharing it with us that this is going to be their process going forward, but maybe she hasn't thought about the long-standing relationship with Park and Rec. I don't know.
That could be it too.
I think there should be a different category for things that are not, things that are Park and Rec approved. I think that needs to be, because we may be funding things. So it's different. I mean, I understand if she wants to hold us to a certain standard, but I don't understand why there's no reference to Park and Rec in this document.
I can inquire, but I believe she is putting everybody under the same category. Everybody is the same under this. They are all a proposed program that has to go through her. That is the senior center process. So no matter who it is, it could be us, it could be the president of the United States, it could be somebody from Texas that wants a program here. I
Well,
believe she's treating everybody the same, and I think that's what her intention is, so that it's just one formal unified process. I can ask if why Park and Rec is not listed as an independent entity. because we are doing the vetting process. And if I can
And we're
share that
funding
correspondence if
things.
needed.
We're
So,
paying for things. I mean, I
Well,
think
and
there needs to be, like, we're doing bingo, we're paying for bingo prizes. You know, we're doing a senior lunch. We're paying for the lunch if we're not, getting it through the school. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I really think you got to push back, Matt, and say, this needs to be encompassing of the reality of what's happening with Park and Rec. It's not that I'm saying she shouldn't have approval rights, but it needs to be a partnership.
Maybe there could be a carve out for a partnership. I mean,
Yeah. That would
Maybe.
make logical sense.
did this have to go through like an approval process to the first selectman, to the selectmen's meeting, or is this just,
Not the selectmen.
doesn't have to be approved by anybody?
I don't
I
know.
mean, she is a department head. I don't know if she's run it by Marty. He did not bring it up to the Board of Selectmen, so.
I
I
would
mean, I
definitely
think
refer
it's-
to
yeah.
to Marty, definitely refer it to Marty.
So to summarize what the commission would like me to do, I will go ahead and ask Sam why Park and Rec is not exempt from this form. And then if there's a reason that is not satisfactory to allow Park and Rec to have programs outside of this approval process, then I go to Marty.
Good.
I really think what Kate suggested makes sense. A carve out, meaning that there's a different category for Park and Rec programs. I'm not saying we should be exempt, but I just think there's no acknowledgement of Park and Rec programs, which doesn't make sense.
And Sam may be perfectly amenable to that, especially if this is just something where she's trying to kind of get all of her ducks in a row and share a document that will guide them and other organizations, but she may not have thought about Park and Rec as being separate and wouldn't have a problem with it. But I think a conversation would be good.
and I think a lot in that document we wouldn't have a problem with either, right? I mean,
Right?
there's not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we would have a problem with Sam trying to host a program at one of our parks. So I will have a conversation with Sam and I will follow up with what the conversation has. I will send an email to her asking the information. And then if we need to have a sit down conversation to iron out some stuff, we can definitely have a sit down conversation.
That's a
Sounds
good
good.
point, what you just said, Matt. If she wanted to host something at a park, we wouldn't treat her like a resident. We would be treating her like a department head,
Right.
and you guys would just be able to talk about it and make arrangements. We wouldn't, like, if she wanted to use Kent Commons Pavilion, we wouldn't make her fill out the form and all that stuff. So, that's a good analogy of why it needs to be a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely ask Sam about a carve out for Park and Rec because we do go through the vetting process and I will ensure that we are following the protocols for making sure that if there's insurance needed, there's insurance needed. The program is for 60 plus, and if supplies are needed, that they are provided. Because to me, those are the three big things that stand out to me when reading this. And then we can't charge seniors. So those four. We don't charge people. If they have insurance, they're covered unless it's through Park and Rec. It's for senior 60 plus. And then we have all program items and things are supplied, and the seniors don't need to bring their own.
And the other
everyone.
question I would have is Park and Rec the program leader in this form, or is it like the people that are running bingo or bunco or Rummikub,
It would be the way that the document is written and the language that's used, from what I believe, it would be me as the program leader stating that I'm the one that's ensuring that this is happening, but I believe I can delegate the duty of running the program to somebody as a volunteer or paid staff member. But I will follow up with Sam on that one to ensure that that language is more secure and that language is clear, because if it's not, then we're going to have more of a conversation as to who is doing what and who is a leader, who's not a leader conversation.
All right.
But just wanted to share this with you as it was received to me. And I didn't want it to let sit and stew. I needed to share this with the commission as soon as possible.
I
Thank
think
you.
that's
That's great.
Important. Thank you
Yeah,
very
you're welcome.
much. Anybody
welcome.
else have any further discussion on that topic? Okay, moving on. Now we're at public comment. Lynn Harrington, anything you want to say?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, financial report. You lead us through this, Matt?
Sure. So would you like me to share the screen of the financial report?
Sure.
Sure. 1 second. I just had it up. All right, great. So this is the financial report as of current. Before we dive into it, just to give you some explanation. Actually, we're going to dive into it and I'll give you explanation. It's easier that way. So under ordinary expenses and income, right now under item 132,800, those are our fee generations from all of our programs. This does not include any sort of pay to the things that would come out of this would be the pay to the Kent School for pool usage and for ice time, and it would include paying any of our contractors. So that number will be reduced once we start paying things out, and those will be noted. I talked to Barbara about that, and Barbara said that's where those things were placed.
Mm.
And then that's where we'll be paying things out of as well when it comes to the usage of the pool, usage of the ice arena, and anything that we have to pay an instructor for.
How
Right
is
now,
that
our-
different than park and rec classes then? I thought the classes were the fee program. I'm wrong?
So all the money has been going to fees because that's how it's collected on MyRec. Everything from MyRec goes right into fees and goes into 132,800.
Okay.
From what I was talking to with Barbara. So that number I can review with Barbara again when I talked to her on Friday about it. That's what the discussion was. And she said that number will go down once we start paying off stuff for the usage of the facilities at the Kent School.
Can you and also just double check that our budget is correct then? Because the fact we're 1,000% over the budget, I'm worried now.
Yep, that was my thought process too when I looked at it and explored with Barbara. So it might just be the way things are currently going and it's not going to the appropriate line item. So we can go ahead and I'm going to talk to Barbara a little bit more and double check to make sure that it should go to classes instead. And that's where it should be coming out of, because the budget for classes is equitable to the one for park and recreation. So I believe it's just going to the general for fees and then it comes right out from there, where it should be, it could be classified as something completely different, which is something I can talk to Barbara about and ensure. And again, that number for ordinary income and expenses will deflate as we pay out. So that's why it's high from what Barbara explained to me. So I will follow up with Barbara. Right now we are at 54.2% of our anticipated budgeted income for the year, which is great. So camps will be on there come fall, or not come fall, come summer. So we'll be able to have some generation of revenue from camps. And then same with enrichment for ASP. Any question? And then sports as well when we talk about baseball and have everything outlined for baseball when we have that fee come in. And also it looks like the money from basketball went into fees, so it would have to be reallocated into sports. That number is really high, and the more I look at it and talk it out, I believe that everything went into fees, like Barbara said. So I'm going to go into MyRec and talk with Barbara and see if we can start delineating things in a little different manner so that it's appropriately allocated into the budget and into the right line items. But we
Well-
are at 54.2% of our budgeted revenue, which is a good number that we're at. When it comes to our programs and having more development with our programs, we'll definitely see that revenue go up more.
Yeah,
Any
and
questions?
and we're
Go ahead.
about 70% of the year has gone by, so we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
Um,
especially
Definitely
with-
want to make sure you spend the money before June 30th, Matt.
definitely.
Yeah.
And we are in good shape. And to really echo it, you know, we're anticipating for our budget 21,500 for enrichment camps. We don't do camp registration until a little bit later. That number is going to jump significantly, and they'll bring us up higher. So we're in a good position for it being March. So good job, team. Any other questions on income?
Were you able to straighten out some of the issues with ASP?
With the revenue, I'm
Yeah.
working on those still because I'm still getting checks for some individuals for ASP that are paying. And I'm also trying to understand what hasn't been paid because it looks like in MyRec, when someone did pay a check, it wasn't checked off that the check was sent to the department and then it was
Okay.
cashed. It was just sent in, and on MyRec, it doesn't show that it was cleared. So I'm
Okay.
going through checks at the moment to ensure that everything was cleared, to make sure we're doing it in two places instead of just one. So,
Mm,
or
okay.
yeah, two places instead of one. So just want to make sure that we're all set on the MyRec end. So I'm working on that, and once that is resolved, that number in MyRec will be good.
Okay.
Awesome. Any other questions? All right. Expenses. So looking at our expenses, we have completed about 64.9, about 65% of our budget for the year for expenses. The amount that we are over in is again hourly employees. That was with Jared, and then with another shift that we discussed last meeting. Barbara did clarify that the money was not transferred between departments, correct, Lynn, on that one? From what Barbara said back in February?
I don't understand your question.
Barbara didn't transfer the money between departments, or there was no money transferred between departments to balance
No,
that
they
number?
transferred money within our department.
They transfer money within the department, thank you.
So the way she's normally handled things is if a budget line item goes over, once the fiscal year ends, she does budget transfers all at once with the Board of Finance.
Yep, perfect,
And then she will transfer between departments.
perfect. All right, perfect. And then for other department operations, again, supplies, that one has not gone up dramatically. That is right now at 175% because I was including all the things with the ads for the paper. And then it's at 750 and we are 175% over. So again, that one will have to be balanced out at the end of the year with Barbara. And we discussed last meeting that that number was high. Any questions on the remainder of the budget? We're still within a good amount of room for everything that we have, with a good completion of 63.4% of what we have budgeted for the year.
I hope you make use of conferences and training.
There definitely are some. So I will tell you
Good.
that I definitely, on another note on conferences and training, just because of personal interest as well. And I'm not asking the department to pay for it. I'm actually going on my own leisure for it. I'm going to the outdoor recreation expo up in Boston at the end of April. So that is something I planned on doing a while ago personally, because I like to go to those kinds of things. So that's something, for example, I go to on my own interest, but it has an interest department. I'm not asking for the department to pay for that. That's just something I'm doing on my own time. But to show that I do have interest in those kinds of things, I'm looking into trainings, I'm looking into other things I could attend, conferences, just so that I can grow and develop, and as well gain info and insight and ideas and information so that I can help better the program and the department here in Kent. So, cool.
That's
Awesome.
great. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Super excited about it. It's a bunch of friends and I going. Any other question on finances? For the current finances. All right, so then we're all set with 7A.
Excellent. So the next thing on the agenda is narratives for capital fund reallocation.
Yes. So I'm currently working on the capital fund reallocation for Emery Park's playground set for the drainage and for the master plan. Just to give you guys a quick update as to where I stand, I've reached out to Gary Hawk to ask him about the exact boundary that the State Road 341 has with Emery Park. Depending on where the state boundary falls, it could either, the drainage could be something that the state would need to pay for because it's technically on their property, or it's something that we need to pay for because it's on our property. So I'm waiting to hear back from the person that drew the map for Emery Park to define where the boundary is. I met with Ty and zoning, and I met with Rick from our foreman, and both of them, we were looking at it together. There was no clear distinction on the map that we have from 2017 where that boundary is. So I followed up with Gary, and Gary will be getting back to me onto where that boundary is, which then can help reassess how I rate this narrative. Because if it is saying that this is a state issue and we're going to be paying for the state issue, then we have to have a different conversation.
Right.
So that is why that's why nothing has been produced at the moment. I just want to give you a quick update on that. And then the Finance Commission, and after speaking with Lynn too, there is a request for all the money that hasn't been used since 2020, or in the past since 2020, to just give a quick synopsis as to what our plan is. So we do have the other 150 from Emery Park for the pool. And as we develop and work towards Emery Park and what we're going to be doing with Emery Park, what I feel would be comfortable to say is that we would like to utilize that $150 within the next 2 years for the Emery Park pool and discuss how we could possibly rejuvenate the pool, how we could possibly work on a new plan for a waterfront or aquatic feature at Emery Park. I think that money being where it is a good position, and we are going to use it. We just need to finalize a plan, and either we bring in a professional, we can use that money to bring in the professional to help us make decisions on what to do with that body of water in the park and see what we can do to enhance it, to see what we can do to have it work. There's definitely potential for it. Having a background in aquatics and knowing places that have ponds that are chlorinated, such as Kiwanis Park in New Canaan. And then the state used to chlorinate Wadsworth Falls swimming area, which is a bowl-shaped swim area. It's a pond with sand, with a liner and a clay layer, same as Kiwanis Park. And that one has a pump with chlorination pumped in, and then it's discharged out with a discharge permit. So, asking a professional to come in and evaluate the space and evaluate if something could be done. There's a lot of potential with it. And I just feel strongly that we shouldn't move that 150 just yet until we have a sound plan as to what we're doing with that aquatic feature at Emery Park. There's potential. There's strong potential for it. And there's definitely a solution for it.
Very
Any
cool.
results from your survey?
Oh, yes, we'll jump into that. So survey results,
We're
that's
not there
down a little
yet.
bit further.
We're
So
not there yet.
we'll
okay, that's
jump into
all right.
that in a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
So no, but that's something we can definitely discuss.
Good.
But yeah, there's definitely a solution for Emery Park. I feel confident about it. I feel that we can definitely get the right person in to give us help with getting to that solution and giving us the options available to us. I'm not a landscape architect. I'm not a person that could go ahead and tell you what to do to a pool or a pond. But one thing I can tell you is that a pool has different regulations than a pond. A pool has walls and a floor. Pond does not have walls, but it does have a floor. So theoretically, if Emery Park pool didn't have walls, it's a pond. So it holds to different regulations and standards. So just pumping that idea out there too with that. So I could go on for days about Emery Park. I could write a book about my thoughts at this point as to what we could do. But I think keeping that money where it is, and I can write a narrative about it, I think we should keep it there. And I think we need to start working on outlining our goals with that and outlining some stages what we could do with that money, because there's potential and I want to see it done. And I know the commission wants to see it done. And when we jump into things, we'll talk more about that.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right. So now we're on to 8, director's report. We're now to 8B, day-to-day park and rec operations.
Yes.
Number 1, department logo contest.
Yes. So this is a great idea that I've had. So looking at the current department logo, it's great. It's fantastic. I like the red, yellow, green, and blue that's with it. However, I would like something that is created by the community. So I want to challenge our high school students in our community to create a logo using either a set list of colors and giving them a palette they have to use, and giving, the theme is Kent Park and Recreation, and then having the K-8 school vote on the best logo from the high school student that creates it. And then as soon as the K-8 school votes on the best one, we as a commission adopt it and it becomes our department logo. I mentioned this to Michelle Mott. She is more than all for having the K-8 kids vote on the best logo. I wanted to talk to y'all about the high school and see what your ideas were. Maybe it's private schools and public schools, but I think this is a great opportunity for a young individual who's in high school who might want to be going for a career in graphic design, in art, in advertising, in marketing, to start a portfolio. And this is a great moment for them to say, I created and it was voted to be the Park and Recreation logo for the town of Kent. And that is a great standout right there to say, I achieved that at the age that I'm at. And this is the portfolio that I'm building as a person. And it really helps grow the youth in the population. So I would love to see it. And I wanted to bring it to the commission to see if that's something how we feel about it, and if it's something we could do.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a great idea. And one of the things I think that we should do is, I think it would be nice to have the kids who attend school here, whether it's public or independent schools, be able to participate. And I also think, there are certainly students from high school age students from Kent who are not in attendance at school in Kent. Maybe maybe they're at a different boarding school or something like that. I would say,
That's a good point.
high school age resident, of the town of Kent, you're eligible to participate. Additionally, I don't want to forget those people who don't necessarily attend school in Kent, but are Kent residents.
So
Yeah.
would you, so Blythe, so you would say is you can't be attending high school in Kent and be from Michigan.
No, I think
And participate?
I think it should be high school students who are from Kent, right?
Yeah.
Public high school students who are from Kent, if they're at Hoosey, right?
Uh-huh.
I think it should include students who attend high school in Kent. That includes
Okay.
the three boarding schools, and then other students who may be Kent residents whose families live here, but they might be at school at, maybe they go to Canterbury or
Right.
you know what I
Okay.
mean? So,
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah,
say
okay.
those groups. That's what I would recommend.
Can I just ask for a little bit of clarity? Because I just listened to the Board of Finance meeting and there are only 36 Hoosy students from Kent. But do we want to open this to any Housatonic student, regardless of whether they're from Kent or just the ones that live in Kent?
If we open it up to the private schools, then maybe we have to do that. I don't know.
We're
that's what I'm
talking about
asking.
a lot of kids at this point.
But
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think- yeah.
chances are the ones that are from Kent are going to be more inclined to participate. I mean, we'd be like sending this to the art teacher at Hoosy and saying, here, it's open to everybody, or it's open to just the 36 kids that are from Kent.
I personally would say this is a Kent town project. So either you're from Kent or you're attending school in Kent. That's my feeling.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not speaking for the whole commission, certainly, but
What do you guys think? I just think we should be clear with Housatonic, so they are clear. Because they're going to be the ones helping us spread the word.
Yeah.
For those kids.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking, I think it has to be Kent-centric. It has to be a Kent-centric project.
My thought process on this, I thought it would be great pride for someone who goes to Hoosy who's from Kent. And
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
feel that, if we
100%.
ask somebody to create this and they're from Salisbury,
Yeah,
thank you so much, someone from Salisbury, but what's your involvement with Kent? Do you
Right.
do you
No,
participate in
yeah,
our
yeah, yeah.
programs? Do you come to Kent? Have you set foot in Kent in the past 12 months besides, driving through, like I feel pride is so important with Kent, and seeing that the town is so engaged and having kids feel proud to be from Kent, to say, this is something we created in high school together, and so and so created it, and we're graduating, and here we are at a 10-year reunion, and saying,
No,
hey,
Matt,
so-and-so, great
dude,
job with that.
I'm right there with you. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think it's a fantastic idea.
It is a great
Yeah.
idea. I just want to be clear.
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I
yeah.
would- I would lean toward more of a Kent resident versus, because I think it gets, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, I'll do whatever.
No, I
I
yeah.
think some of I know from my own experience, some of the students who attend boarding schools here in Kent developed a very strong relationship to the town. And there are many talented artists that attend the 3 boarding schools. So the chances are we're going to get some very interesting logo designs.
I
And-
also
and-
think, I think, for example, speaking from Marvelwood, we had a table at the Halloween, Halloween. We sponsored a table. We were in the, we had a float in the Christmas parade, and those were not just Kent kids. They were kids who go to school here in the town. They love the town. They support the town financially. They like hanging out in the nice green spaces. And, so I can see the, gee, we really want somebody from Colorado designing the winning thing just because they happen to be attending school in Kent. But, there are definitely, as Lynn was saying, there are definitely students who make that connection to the town through community service, or, they're serving at the senior center, or, I think these are important things to encourage and to have the schools, the 3 schools even more kind of lovingly tied to the town.
Yeah. And then just to add a little caveat to that too, since we talked about residents of Kent that go to Housatonic, and we have 36 individuals that do. One thing that I would do want to point out is I don't know what our current number is of homeschooled individuals that are in high school in Kent, but involving them as well, because if we're going to involve the private schools or involve Housatonic, I think we should involve homeschooled students as well. And I don't know that number. I'm happy to get that number, but I feel that involving them too, because they are not in the public school system or the private school system, that are homeschooled system, they should still be involved and engaged. And I think that'd be a great way to
Absolutely.
have them connected,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
we're
I
missing
think
an
the-
opportunity with them.
I think
You
the
could
the broadest, most inclusive language you can use is that you're a Kent resident of age, there's an age group, right? You're 13 to 18 or whatever it is, ages 13 to 18, you're a Kent resident or you attend school in the town of Kent. And that includes homeschooled kids and kids who might be at a vocational school.
You want to say, that attend, high school, because some 13-year-olds are still in 8th grade, 14, they turn 14 this year, you know what I mean? Like in, say, January, February, March, so.
Right, you get your precocious 13-year-olds, and then you get some kids who might still be in not graduating high school until they're 19.
Right,
So
right,
high school age, whatever it is I would say
Yeah.
13 to 19, but in attendance at a high school program, either here in Kent or they're a resident of Kent in attendance at a high school program.
I like that language.
That's
I really
perfect,
like that
Bryce.
language.
That
is
really is.
Like, thank you. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant.
Great idea.
Thank you.
Do we
So-
want to make a motion just so it's on the record using Bryce language?
I would
Um,
like to go ahead. I'll make a motion. I will make a motion that we open a Park and Rec logo challenge to students, either residents of the town, high school age students, residents of the town of Kent, or attending high school program in Kent.
I'll
Second.
second that. Oh, Kate can have that second.
Beat ya. Beat ya.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No, we're unanimous. Awesome. Great idea. Okay, next thing is Park and Rec Department survey update.
Yes. So really happy to give this one. So as of this afternoon, before the Board of Selectmen meeting, I took a look at numbers and we have 102 survey responses. From Friday night when it was sent out around 7 p.m. to Saturday morning around 9 a.m., we had 86 responses. So to know that I personally was listening to some colleagues of mine, I heard Friday night is the time to send that information out to anybody, because that is the time people are closing out their week and they're starting their weekend. And at night, that's when the kids go to bed. That's the time when people are starting to settle down or they're about to go out and do something, but they're checking their email quickly. So strategically plan that one to go out at that time, and 86 responses in 14 hours from Friday evening to Saturday morning is phenomenal. The score, when the survey concludes on the 28th at 3 p.m., what I'll do is I will total up the survey results and I will share those with the commission at a board meeting or at a commission meeting. The results will include net promoter scores for activities and programs for infant, toddler, preschool age children, school age children, high school, teenagers, adults, and seniors. It will also include a net promoter score for our parks, all three of them. And the intention of the net promoter score is to benchmark. It's not supposed to show any positive or negative correlation with the department of anything past or anything present. It's going to benchmark for us where we're at, and it's going to give us the opportunity to listen to everybody who has participated in the survey on what we can do to improve and what we can do to offer more so that we can engage more and raise those scores. The net promoter scores are calculated as I did a 1 through 10. You can honestly do a 0 through 10. You can do a 0 through 5. You can do anything to really tabulate your detractors, your passive individuals, and your promoters. Your promoters for this score or for this survey are going to be your 9s and your 10s. Your passive individuals that are there casually attending programs and they're not going to necessarily be your promoters engaging, getting people to go to your programs, are going to be your 7s and 8s that rate a program. And then anything from 1 to 6, that's your detractors. Those are the ones that are most likely not to attend your programs or attend your facility or really engage much. They're the ones that are going to more than likely fall off. So what the NPS score is essentially going to do, it's going to show where we're at. It's a -100 to a 100 scale. So it could fall anywhere in that range, positive, negative, but it's a good benchmark for us. And it's a good benchmark for us as a department and a commission to really take route and set goals for us so that we can start hitting those goals and hitting some numbers and getting people involved and really showing that we're listening to the community. So having those scores go up and then having more programs come about, more activities come about, and they're from the perspective of the community and hearing what people have to say, that will show some goal hitting and that'll really show growth in the department. So these are good growth numbers. That's what I'm really hoping for from it. So when I share any information from the NPS score and from the NPS surveys, don't be scared. That's all I'm going to start with and say. So those will come next commission meeting, unless we feel that a special meeting dedicated just to presenting this is appropriate. So I'll leave that to the commission and Rufus as to what you guys feel is a good step for that.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Did we
just have
do
a
any
question.
do we do any hard copy ones? Like,
Yeah,
did we leave
that's
any
what
at the
I said.
library or at the senior center?
I'm going to leave some at the senior center tomorrow for bingo so that they're there for bingo so people can pick them up. I'm going to leave 50 copies there. And then what I can do is I can talk to the library to leave some copies there just so that there's hard copies available. And if people feel that they want to mail them back, they can mail them back. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and input them into the system and just have everything inputted there so that it can help tabulate scores.
We have
go
the
ahead, Karen.
pancake breakfast, the firemen's pancake breakfast.
Yeah, that's
When's
this
that?
Sunday, this
So,
Sunday.
with Sunday. If you wanna, I can bring some in those are the women that I was helping get online, you know, so
Yes.
I
I'll bring
can
some for you,
bring,
Karen. I'll bring some tomorrow to bingo.
I won't be at bingo
Oh,
tomorrow.
you won't be at bingo? I'll bring some to you during the week. We'll find
Oh.
time to figure something out. I'll give them to you.
Okay.
Because I'll be setting up for the Easter egg hunt more than likely not before the fire, because it's on the same day. So if
Okay.
it's Sunday, Easter egg hunt is this Sunday, so I'll be setting it up with Bethany and some other folks to get the ball rolling
Okay.
on that. Yeah. Perfect.
can you ask Darlene to put it on the news and announcements page of the website too?
Yes. I will follow up
Just
with
in
Darlene
case
on that to make sure
somebody's
that it's
looking for it.
there. Perfect. Yes, 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 yes.
Awesome. Anybody else have anything else they want to ask about it? All right, so we are to. I've lost
Could
track of
we-
my agenda.
Could you attach that to the Penn Center School? Could you ask Penn Center School if they can attach that to the Friday newsletter?
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's
For
a
any
great idea.
parents, yeah, that,
It should be just sending it to Michelle and Megan or Mary.
Mary and Megan.
Yeah.
I'd send it to Michelle, Mary, Megan.
Michelle, Mary, and Megan.
Covered all
Okay.
your
There
bases.
you go. I know
I'll
they
send it
used,
out to
I
you,
don't,
yeah.
I haven't done it in a long time, but I know they used to want the principal to sign off on it, so. But I know they've done stuff with Park and Rec from
Yeah,
consistently, so it shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blythe,
so-
do you think it would be impactful for me to give it to anybody in the private schools if any of the private school kids attend programs here in Kent?
I think, yeah, I mean, there are certainly parents who work at the schools. Whether or not those are kids who are already at KCS who would get it, anyway. Like, for example, I know my neighbors would get the Kent Center newsletter. So I don't know that they need to get it from me also, but I'm happy to certainly share it around.
maybe share it with the staff.
Yeah, because there are people, there are other people who don't have children at the school
Right,
who might have something that they want to say as well. So yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
yeah, and send it to all 3 schools and they can share it with their staff. I think
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, Matt, if you would like me to do, I can certainly send it to Brian and Mike if you'd like me to do that. So if you want to give me a nice copy of that, or a link or something like that, if you could just send that to me again, I can take care of contacting Kent School in South Kent.
Definitely. Thank you, Blythe.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely get that to you ASAP.
All right, so we are moving on to 8C Park Facilities.
Hey, guys, can I ask a favor? Can we start moving a little bit quickly? Because this is
Yeah,
going so
It
long.
is going too long. So 8C Park Facilities, Kent Center School Fields, action on lawn service.
Yes. So I emailed Jim, our representative from New England Turf Management. He said that the organic grub control will be an additional $5,600 for the bill. And so that would bring the bill to $9,961 flat. That still, in comparison to True Green, which is $16,040, this is significantly less. And they're also using the organic treatment for the grubs. So this would be a great addition so we can really start tackling that grub problem. So essentially I am going to recommend a motion for approval of the contract with New England Turf Management of $9,961 for this is again, we can go 1, 2, or 3 year agreement. I'm gonna say 2 year, just so that it's mid-ground.
Second.
Sounds good.
I can't move her. I need someone to
Oh,
move her.
sorry.
Moved by John. Well,
John, you
Second.
want to make the motion? Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah, we'll just use that motion, yeah.
Okay.
please.
John and Kate.
John Kate. Thank you.
Flying now, people. We're flying.
I'm sorry. All those in favor? I was zoning out. Aye.
It's all
Any
good.
opposed? Okay, we're unanimous. Okay, moving
We're
on
flying
to
so fast,
next.
the motions are approving themselves. Or
Yeah.
denying them. We don't know.
Woo. Okay, we're
They
on
make their own
8.
motions.
We're on 8C2 Kent Common Playground update.
Yes. So at the moment, just to give everyone an update, the last week of February, after our commission meeting that Wednesday, the group came out to fix the playground and start installing the playground pieces for the bench. Unfortunately, somehow, somewhere, the bolts and items needed to screw everything together were not attached to the delivery, and the main support is also missing from it as well. They're working, the company that we have worked with is working with their supplier and third-party freight carrier to find where the hardware box and the primary support post, one of the primary support posts went to. So as soon as they resolve this, I will update everybody as to when the final date of the installation of our covered bench will be.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on, 8C, 3 story walk at Emery Park.
Sure. I don't know if there's any action needed on this, but the library showed interest in our hiking program on Tuesday. They gave me a story. They said that they gave me, it's in my office. I haven't put it up yet. I just want to prove from the commissioner, just seeking a thumbs up to put out a story walk for the individuals that walk through Emery. It would go up the trail. It's about 30 spokes, and people can just read the story as they walk up the trail. I'll leave it in an area so it doesn't go all the way to the top of the mountain, so that it's more comfortable, more relaxed, so you don't hit that really steep incline on your way up. But it has a story. I'm blanking on the story off the top of my head, but it has a story written on it. There's pictures, there's words, people read it, they see pictures, and they can go around and just walk around and read the book as they go.
Is it environmentally themed or something, or?
It is environmentally themed. It's borrowed from the library in Middletown and would be out until April 15th April 12th on the ground.
Oh, so it's a temporary thing.
Temporary thing. Yep, it's not permanent.
Groovy.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that needs approval from the commission to put that out there, but I just either heads up, approval, action. I don't know. Don't know what
I'll
y'all
make
feel.
a motion to accept this offer from the Kent Memorial Library of having a story walk temporarily installed at Emery Park. Is there any cost involved in that?
Nope, totally free.
Who's going to do the installation, you or the
Me.
library?
Takes like maybe 20 minutes to put everything in the ground. It's just walk,
Okay.
plop, walk, plop, walk, plop.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I made a motion. Do we have a second?
Technical term.
Do we have a
I'll
second?
second it.
Oh, thanks,
second.
Mike.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, unanimous. Moving on to 8C4, temporary dog policy pause for Emery.
Yep. This is just something that was asked if dogs are allowed for the hike. And since our policy in the park states no dogs are allowed, I was just going to ask the commission if we can honor a temporary dog policy pause for the hike on Tuesday from 5 p.m. to end of hike. The director will provide dog bags to clean up any droppings so that they can be thrown out and disposed of properly. And again, it would just be a temporary short-term thing for the hike.
A PAWS, short-term pause.
Yeah. That's how the motion wants to read.
Anybody have an issue or concern? Okay, does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll move to pause the dog policy at Emery Park to accommodate the hike
On 319.
on 319.
A second?
Second.
Thank you, Kate. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, moving right along. We are to 8C5, new trail. That's what I wrote down.
So this one is one I'm really excited to talk about. Lynn got a message from me and Rufus got a message from me a few weekends ago. I was hiking around Emery on a Sunday, having some fun in the park, and I stumbled upon a random trail marker that was beneath if you can see it in the distance, from a bent tree that arches over. And I was like, is that a trail marker? And I followed it up for the 10th of a mile that it goes, and it leads to a waterfall, a very beautiful waterfall in a very flat area. And it is a marked trail that is written in the hiking book that Kent Land Trust put together. However, it is not a trail that is recognized on any of the trail systems that we have. It's just marked. It was known about, but it's not one that's been maintained. And it's not one that's been really outlined or marked. So I met with the Kent Land Trust on Friday, which we'll get into when we talk about the concert series. And I mentioned this to Melissa. And Melissa said if I use some of my tracking applications with Strava and my Garmin to lay breadcrumbs, She will go ahead and we can work together on formalizing this trail and making it a formal trail in Emery Park. So therefore, we would actually have an official second trail that is already blazed in Emery Park. So it would be cool that we have a second trail that leads up to a waterfall.
exciting.
That's so great.
That
Matt,
is so
Matt, can I
cool.
ask you,
Sure, go ahead, John.
so if you're looking at it straight ahead, the trail, is it to the left or to the right?
If you're going up the trail, it's to the left and it
Okay.
goes over. When you're walking up, you pass the small little cabin on the other property.
Right, yeah,
and you
that's, yeah.
follow
uh,
along that stream. You go over that stream and there's another stream in the back.
Yeah, yep.
Yep. So, I mean, there's a really cute area. I honestly think once we clean up that trail and we get rid of some of the trees that are on it, we could put benches back there. It would be a nice spot to just sit and listen to the waterfall as it goes. It's just, I like it. I enjoy it.
Matt, just a heads up, the person that owns that cabin there that's on the property line, almost on the property line, he'll probably, cause some ruckus when we start cutting, so be prepared, okay?
Definitely. I'll be prepared
Yeah.
for that. And I think if we do any sort of cutting, I think it's best if we reach out to anybody who abuts the property just to give
Right,
them
exactly.
fair warning. And I know with us, we are exempt from planning. However, I think it's still good to let planning know we're doing stuff. And then also I think it's just good practice to just let anybody know that might be a neighbor of ours that, hey, we're going to be cutting in the woods and we're going to be moving some trees that are on the ground that we're just chopping up to make room for a path that already exists.
Yeah, we had a couple of conflicts with that guy about 8 years ago, so just,
Gotcha. Okay. No,
Fourth
this is
wall.
a decent amount of distance away from his property in the woods.
Right, great.
But I think it's I think it's great to just let him know anyways. So good,
Yep,
good. point,
exactly.
John.
Yep, perfect, thank you.
Good neighbors.
So
To me, this is an operational thing. Do you guys think we need a motion on this?
No,
I don't really feel like we do, because I mean, I think pretty much you have the ability to create trails at will.
cool.
I think so. I mean, unless you guys feel differently,
We're not even creating it, we're clearing it.
I know, it's already existing, so.
Well, we're establishing it. It hasn't been formally established, but
Great find.
yeah. I'm finding more as I go through that park,
Yeah.
and as I find more, I will update you all. But I have a deep love for that park already, and I can't wait to explore it even more now that the trees are starting to grow in, and I can see what it looks like when it's green instead of just wintry, but it's still beautiful in winter. So
Excellent.
Awesome.
Okay. Moving on, we are to 8D current programs. 1 senior lunches.
what
yes,
about,
senior lunches. So I'm working on. I'm waiting to hear
Did I
back.
miss something? John is
I thought
indicating.
I thought I have here, right after the trails, I have Kate, ASP.
That would be
That's
I
the
think I'm
next
coming next.
one.
We can
That's
table
2.
mine. We can, you know what, can we just table mine till next meeting? Because I don't,
Okay.
we're going, it's fine.
Okay,
Okay, so senior lunches. Go ahead, Matt.
Yep. Just quick overview. I'm working on getting the food from Housatonic. I'm going to advertise tomorrow when I'm at bingo to let everybody know. If I don't hear from Housatonic about food, because I know that the other private schools are on break right now, best bet is to purchase food. So within our budget, I will purchase a lunch and have it ready to go. As long as the food is delivered and then served, we are good to go without any needs for a person who is safe food certified to
Handler, food
safe
handler.
food handler for the food. So as long as it's just delivered and then served, it's not prepped there, it's not like I'm prepping it and then giving it out, or somebody on the commission is, we're just getting it delivered and it's good to go kind of deal. So as long as it's there, people take, we're good.
And when is that lunch, Matt?
The lunch is this Friday at noon, so I'm going to advertise at bingo tomorrow.
Are you gonna post it on Facebook and stuff too?
Post on Facebook. I'm going to send out a e-blast as well tomorrow. So I just want to finalize the food. I've been waiting to hear from Hoosie. I haven't heard anything, so I'm going to call tomorrow and bug them.
I
And if I
don't
don't
think
hear
they've
anything, then I'm
done
gonna go-
food before, Matt.
I don't
think they have.
No, they have. They
They
have.
have done food. I know they had
They've
kids
done it
serving.
through- They've done it through a program that's set up for kids to learn about this kind of stuff.
Oh, like the
Yeah,
science,
yeah,
whatever. It's,
yeah.
I'm so used to calling it
The-
VOAG. They
The
don't call it.
Mountaineers, they used to call
they
it the
don't-
Mountaineers program, so But yeah, and then they have the work program, you know,
Yep.
yeah. So they have,
Oh,
I
that
think
makes
they've done
sense.
a couple of them. Yeah,
Yeah, they have like they have food science courses and stuff like that.
right.
That's awesome. But maybe if you can't pull it together for Housatonic this time around, you can get them for next month or something, you know?
Yeah. Sam is asking me for dates for April, May, and June because her newsletter and finalization of the calendar is going out by Thursday. So I need to give her dates for the rest of the month. So what I'm asking from the commission is to give me the ability to plan these dates and then send them to the commission, because if we plan them now and plan the dates, it will take some time. And I was looking at dates and I'm trying to find some dates in mind. I know that Sam is doing hers on the 24th of April and on the 22nd of May. So if we do ours mid-month, I can give the commission dates on those as long as I get approval from the commission that we can host 3 more lunches, 1 per month.
Are you gonna
That-
stick with Fridays or do you think that's problematic?
I
Had
could
them on
definitely-
different days. They've had them on different, it hasn't always been Friday.
No, I
I-
just know that they don't ever have anything planned on Friday, so it seemed like a
Right.
good
Yeah.
thing to do it, for us to do it on
Um,
that day.
Let's give it a shot. Let's make it Fridays.
Okay.
Fun Fridays with Park and Rec. I
Sure.
like it.
Food Friday.
Food Fridays with Park and Rec.
So,
So,
are you are you gonna try to get, schools to, if you can?
Yes.
You won't be
Yes.
able to, probably you won't be able to in June. June, we will have to pay. Because
Yep.
the private schools are they're out by then,
Yeah.
unless Huzi wants to do it in June.
You never know. So I guess I'm
Um,
asking for the commission's
so-
blessing on that one.
So you want a motion, allowing you to select the dates and make arrangements for one senior lunch in April, May, and June, probably on a Friday.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
I'll
Is there a
second.
second? Thank you, Blythe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, great. We're gonna table the ASP update. And we are going to.
It was ASP thoughts.
Thoughts, okay.
Their thoughts. But unless anyone feels strongly, it can wait till next meeting.
Okay. And 3 is programs update. I guess those are the
Yep.
things I was asking
So
about.
very, very quickly to dive into it, preschool basketball has ended. They had a pizza party at the end of the session and they all had a lot of smiles on their faces. They were so happy to be there. And I can tell that the parents really loved that we have some preschool sports going on in town. The basketball program will be ending at the end of the month. Seeing so many smiles and so many kids that are engaging with basketball. I'm so happy that we have such a very involved community and seeing some great coaches step up to volunteer. Very thankful for them. ASP, we've seen variation in numbers throughout the weeks. Now that some warmer weather is kicking in, we've seen some numbers fluctuate higher and lower. So we shall see what those numbers will bring for the remainder of March. For updates on pickleball, I'm currently working on a time to meet with someone from the Kent school. I'm forgetting her name. It starts with I believe it's Leanne. I'm forgetting her name off the top of my head, so I apologize. I'm organizing a meeting with her. I was going to purchase stuff, and then she said, wait, I have nets here that you can take a look at and see if you like them, because then you can purchase them so that they're equitable. So working on a meeting with her, trying to form a meeting. It looks like a Wednesday at 5:30, so I'm going to try for this Wednesday at 5:30, if not next Wednesday at 5:30. I'm working with Becca on the storage location in the ASP closet. So if we can get some room in there to store all of our pickleball stuff, then we have a storage location at the school. That was a current issue I was working out because I spoke with Michelle Mott and she said there was no location at the school to store any equipment additional to what we already have. She doesn't have a location for us. The gym teacher doesn't have a lot of space at the moment. She doesn't have a lot of time to prep. So for us to add additional things to the gymnasium at the time for storage would be something that is not ideal at the moment. And then it's Wednesday nights right now, Kent School apparently hosts their pickleball on Wednesday nights at 5:30. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if that is for the public or if it's just for them. If
The
it's
public.
not the public, so then we'll host
No.
ours. I mean, we voted for ours at 5:30 on Fridays, so, or sorry, 5:30 on Wednesdays. So I'm hoping it's not going to conflict with much that they're doing, but I think it would be a great opportunity. So once I get those nets and I purchase them, we'll be able to start promoting it. And we just have to get somebody at the school, which, so point of clarification from Michelle Mott, it has to be somebody at the school for a program, for anything that we're doing from Park and Rec, can be any representative from Park and Rec, paid or volunteer. So as long as they are a
Yay.
representative of Park and Recreation, they can be at the school. So for our coaches, if it's just a coach, we don't need a door monitor as long as the coaches are there bringing everybody in together.
That's cool. So we could pay a rec aide to run the pickleball.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you go right ahead
Big-
and do that.
That is a great point of clarification from Michelle Mott. So that I'm happy about that. So we'll start working on that.
That's
Great.
great.
Art group, I showed Carla the space at the community center or the community house because the senior center, when speaking with Sam, she said that it did not fall into the regulations because the art group is not supplying all the materials for all seniors to participate, and she's concerned that it is not all seniors. Yeah, I assured her that it was all seniors, and the one concern she has is that the art group is not supplying all of the materials for the art group. I showed Carla the community house. She was very impressed with the lighting. She said it was a lot brighter. I have not heard from her since. I'm going to follow up with her, poke her to see where she's at. She did state she might reach out to Templeton to use the other room at Templeton Farms, the senior center, because she liked that room too. But she liked the way that it was set up in the community house. She liked that the water was easily accessible. She did like the bathrooms were close by. She liked that there was parking available that was very close to the facility. There was no stairs involved. So I'm going to follow up with Carla to see where she's at. But just to let you all know, that is where we're at with the art group. And then I met with Park and Rec director Don over at Warren last week, and we talked about senior trips. And right now, he's going to be sending me some senior trips, and I'm going to be posting them on our MyRec page and also promoting them in our stuff to engage some seniors in their trips so that we can get the ball rolling with the idea of trips. And then we as a commission, next meeting can discuss trips and what we want to do and our thought process with everything with trips. I just really want to engage everybody from our town right now with the current program that's right next door while we start working on things and discussing our
And
next.
he hasn't sent you that yet, that email?
He sent it. I got one this afternoon. I haven't had a chance because by the time I got it, I was
That's
already in
okay. I
this
just
selected
want to,
meeting.
yeah, that's
So,
fine.
yep. And I left this town hall to come home. So unfortunately I did not get a chance to really read
Oh,
through
no,
it.
that's, I just
but-
want to make sure, following up, yeah.
Yep. I got one about trips. So that one we're going to start integrating that into the website. And
So
that is
we're tagging along and it doesn't require any of our personnel, basically.
correct. We are tagging
Okay.
along. It does not require any
awesome.
of our personnel.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. So we are that's all the 8D, 8E new programs.
Yep.
Do these all require
They're all new
motions?
different fees. Because for spring swim lessons, it's only 4 classes, and aerobics and lap swim, it's only 4 dates. So it's different fees. I cut the fees in half for the lap swim and for aerobics, and then I 2/3 it. I cut a third off of lessons.
But do you really want to do that right now until you've done all the investigation you wanted to do?
We can table it for now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
let's do that, please.
I'd
Yep.
feel more comfortable.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Let's table aquatics then. Let's move
Okay.
to cookies and conversations at the Kent with Kent Park and Recreation. That will be at Kent School with Michelle Mott. Sorry, Lynn, I don't mean to take power from you.
No,
I just
please,
jumped the thing.
keep it moving.
I talked to Michelle Mott about this after my meet and greet, which meet and greet went well. After basketball let out, we got a lot of basketball kids, and then we even got more people to show up after that. So it was great to have some people. We were at the school until about 7:30 p.m., which was fantastic. Really had a lot of smiles. Pizza was gone, so really happy to see that. A few tips of information that I got is that on half days, a lot of families go to the playgrounds and have their kids run around, and a lot of families there and a lot of parents there have a lot of thoughts and ideas, and they don't come to the commission or to the director to talk about them just yet. They like to share them there, and they feel that they want to share them, but they don't follow through with it. So I want to provide to them the opportunity to have a cookie with me and Becca, because I think having the ASP director there present might be great, and a conversation. So I would like to ask for approval for and I talked to Michelle Mon about this. She loves the idea. She thinks it's great. She thinks it's a fantastic idea and we should do it, weather pending. So I'm asking for approval for a new program for Cookies and Conversations with Kent Park and Recreation on Wednesday, on the last Wednesday of the
A
month,
month.
March 27th at 1:30 p.m. at the Kent Center School Playground with an allocation of $15 for cookies.
What about milk?
I mean, we could allocate more for milk if we want, but we have money for a small little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of good places there where you can sit down and talk. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's a
Okay,
great place.
I'll make that motion. Can I have a second?
Second,
Thanks, John. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, moving along. So we are to Mahjong.
Mahjong. Karen, do you want to talk about it now or do you want to table it?
I don't think so, because I don't know what I'm a little discouraged, so I think we should table it.
Okay,
Okay,
let's table Mahjong then.
alrighty.
Camp
And
Kent.
then Camp Kent.
Just quick update on it because I think it might be best if it's going to take a while. I'll put it like that. And I think it's best if I just give a brief update with requesting no action at this time. Looking at everything tonight, we spoke with Rufus and Rufus was there, but he had to leave. I was present for it, to the selectmen about what we approved in our special meeting about Camp Kent. I apologize. I made a mistake when I did the math. I did it for 6 weeks instead of 8 weeks with 3 staff members. So the concept in mind is going to be 6 weeks of Camp Kent, 8 hours each day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And right now we asked for the extra money so that we can support 6 weeks. I think, you know what, going for 6 weeks, good idea to start with instead of 8 weeks and stretching it from 8 to 4. Let's start with 1 instead of 2 things. It won't, if we do too much change all at once, I think it might deter people or it might stress people out or people are going to get way too electric about it. So let's start with small changes, integration, and grow from there and see if that change makes sense and works.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
I agree. But we
learn-
do need to get that start date nailed down because people are going to start getting their kids in other programs if we don't.
Yes.
Mhm.
So the start date that was in mind was June 24th.
Mm-hmm.
With the exemption of the week of, so it would be June 24th, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, the 29th, and then the week of August 5th. But August 5th is the week that Camp Kent has the 8th and the 9th reserved
I mean, club
For-
getaway.
for a private event. So
So do you
um,
just do it as a shorter week or do you?
we can do it as a shorter week. We can do more trips that week. I
you
think
gotta-
that's why it might be a longer conversation. I was doing out the math for a potential just like trip day for both days. We might have to up the charge of the program that day, or we move it a week, or we just only do 3 days. So that's why when I was looking at it, we could do 3 days and then 2 days of trips. But I think we'd have to upcharge on that day or that week just so we can have more availability for those trips because those trips are going to cost more, and that's something that
Yeah.
might not be in our budget at the moment.
I think I think it's okay if you tell people this is what's going on. I mean, this costs more this week because this.
Yeah.
You know,
So I think
Karen,
The
you're
only thing I
muted
should-
if you're talking.
what's that?
I
Just
said
say-
they don't have to pick that week. Sometimes parents just pick, except for working parents, and we talked about that. So, you know,
Right.
yeah, they can either pick it or not and pick a different week.
Yep.
Well, I
Um,
mean, maybe you could just put it all together and then And then we call a really quick special meeting and we can approve it for you, because I just
Yeah.
don't want you to drag this on any longer.
We could do,
Um,
we could do that at the same time as we talk about commission members.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I like that. Commission members and camp.
Yep.
Perfect.
Really quick meeting. All
Perfect.
right, so we are down to events extravaganza.
Yep. Extravaganza is this Sunday, 1 p.m. at Kent Commons Park. Right now we have 34 registrants and we're promoting it, so we're hoping to see more. This week, Dave Faraday is coming over to the office to help stuff some eggs with his team. So we have the manpower to stuff the eggs, manpower to hide the eggs, manpower to set everything up and break it down. So I'm very thankful for the volunteers that are already involved and wanting to help out. We're going to promote it. The one thing that I have received as feedback is that the timing of it, from Facebook comments and also people mentioning it to me, it's nap time for a lot of younger children. So it's not most ideal time for the younger individuals to participate. I also heard that older age groups would definitely be of interest as well. So definitely taking that information in for next year. All right.
Okay,
That's it on
Memorial-
extravaganza for now.
okay,
And-
Memorial Day Parade.
So Memorial Day Parade, I'm asking, so this is an ask for approval for the Memorial Day Parade on May 27th, 2024 to be sponsored by the Park and Recreation Department, so I can get the ball rolling on getting everything set for the Memorial Day Parade.
So moved.
Second,
All those in favor?
All right.
aye.
Aye. Are there costs with that or no?
Oh,
I believe there are. I will double check the budget. I remember seeing something in the budget for that.
Okay,
I'm blanking on the number off the top of my head, but I
Okay.
remember seeing a number in the budget for costs for the Memorial Day Parade, I believe.
okay.
Yep. But
Right.
I'll confirm that and I'll get back to everybody on that.
All right, so we are good to go with it, though.
Mhm.
You'll just update us on the amount.
Yep. Thank you.
Concert series.
Concert series met with Kent Land Trust. They definitely are interested in partnering with us. However, the partnership will be reliant on the location. So we have it at the Kent Land Trust field. We have it on the north end. There is power. They did a lot last year. They really did a lot. And I am so appreciative that they did so much. I really do value that relationship that we formed with the Kent Land Trust. And some ideas that came about was when we're in the field, we have a ton of tents upstairs in the attic. I know all of them do not go to camp. If we use them in the field, we can set them up as a cabana, and that could be a shaded area. I think it would be great if we look into getting more tents or bigger tents so we can provide cabana space. The fire department, we had a brief conversation on that, and we're definitely interested, as potentially exploring that, not formally jumping on and saying yes for sure. We definitely want to explore it for food options. And then the other thing that we talked about was the time and the day of the event. So with the farmers market, it was expressed by Melissa that there is some tough intricacies with it happening around the same time. It would be great if we did it a different day, but also she recommended looking into doing it in the fall. And hearing a lot from everybody in town, fall sounds like a very, very active time in the community. So I don't know if we want to explore maybe, as a commission, we vote on, or you guys as a commission vote on saying we can do it in September and now into October, or if we just stick with summer and do a different day, which my recommendation is Thursdays, as Thursday evenings for that. And I definitely, with the relationship we have with the Land Trust, we did pay for the bands and we did we did help with marketing and advertising. They did everything else. And they did a lot, and I appreciate that they did so much. And I want to, start working on that relationship with them and start taking stuff off their plate. So this partnership is not necessarily a 90-10 split on their end. This is something we can work together on, and this is an integrated thing so that we are really benefiting from each other. So I don't know what everyone's thoughts are, but my strong recommendations, I have two. Either we do it on Thursdays in the summer at the northern side of the field for the Kent Land Trust, or we look into doing it in September and October on Thursdays or Fridays with the Kent Land Trust in their field. With looking into purchasing tents for cabanas, having provided shaded spots, and making sure a rep from Park and Rec is there. I'll definitely be there. I would love to see what the town does, and if we have a partnership and I am representing the department, I need to be present and or have somebody on there, on my behalf. So if there's a partnership there, we need to have a strong partnership and strong resemblance together. So, or we do different locations or we do something. I just wanted to express those things to the commission on that conversation. I don't know if you want to table this for another meeting. So we do camp, commission members and concert series, the CCC, but definitely want to hear thoughts if we have time for thoughts, or if we want to make a motion on anything.
But this hasn't been, I mean, Mike was a big guy on this one, on this project on behalf of this commission. I mean, my thoughts are, yeah, fall is such an active time here, leaf peeping season, the whole thing. I think, so I think that's a good idea. I don't think we're not choosing, like, it's either summer or fall. It's,
I think we
Right.
are.
yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
one
like
or
we
the
could
other.
I
do
mean, I think
some
we are because
summer.
we only have probably in the budget enough for 6 concerts.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So we would do some summer and some fall. Is that what you're saying, Matt? Like,
We could do some summer, some fall, all summer,
Yeah.
or one all,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
all in
yeah.
summer or all in fall. Definitely want
but
to,
what exactly are we asking us to decide right now?
well, if we, two things. One, do we want to make a decision at the moment on summer concert series? And if not, can we make the decision at the special meeting? Or if we do, can we make a decision on days, times, and when we're doing the
Location.
concert?
I think this is a big discussion. I would really
Mhm.
rather kind of, it's good now to know what is being suggested, and maybe we can all kind of think about that and come fresh at it at our at our next meeting. But I
Yeah,
think it's
like
it's
we're all
tough.
generally we're pro concert
Yeah,
series.
for sure. But
And we're
Yeah.
pro partnering with the land trust for sure.
It's
Um,
just the time, the time.
I'm somebody who's been to the majority of the concerts in recent years, and I'm not a huge fan of that field. It's, I've seen the numbers go way down, so I'm happy to postpone this and talk about it at another time.
Interesting. Okay. It's
Yeah.
just kind of hard to navigate and buggy and what?
Yeah, buggy, no
Yeah.
shade,
Hot.
it's a
Yeah.
hayfield. You're sitting in Tickville,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think that's part of the reason why the numbers are down.
Interesting.
It's not as nice as sitting in front of the town hall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you didn't put anything in the survey on that, did you?
Can't
Would
write.
have been a nice question.
No, I didn't put anything in there
But
specifically for the concert
I
series.
I think everybody should think about this and then talk to people.
Yeah.
I really think we need more input. Then it really should be more than just, the 6 of us making a decision like this. If we can get input from people, I think that would be great.
But if it's not on the field, will we lose the Kent Land Trust
Yes.
helping us? Yes,
Yes.
okay.
But the other important partner is the Kent Lions Club has helped a lot with parking and stuff like that. So the key thing would be to find out if the Lions Club is willing to help us if we weren't on the field. Would they be willing to help us if we were at Kent Common? Would they be willing to help us if we were at the town hall?
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything wrong with looking at a couple different locations. Sometimes that's nice too. You could do 2, 2, and 2 or something like
Oh,
that.
that's true. Yeah. The only
Yeah, we
thing is
could-
then it can get a little weird. People are like, oh, where is
Right,
the
where is
concert?
it?
Where is it this time? Yeah. Yeah.
But we
Sure.
could try it and see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's table that and talk about it. So I think are we down to the very end here?
We are on subcommittee reports. I just have two very quick things for bylaws subcommittee reports. Just two very quick ones, I promise. First one is a recommendation for Darlene, the town clerk, to join our subcommittee for bylaws. She asked just so that she can give a good point of reference to the bylaws. Being the town clerk, she has a lot of history on bylaws and understands what the bylaws are for a lot of different commissions. And I think it would be, she gave the recommendation to me. She has an interest in it. And so I wanted to be the voice of her to recommend her into the subcommittee.
We actually weren't, we have not had a meeting, and I wasn't even clear if like Kate and Blythe wanted to continue on that commission. So,
I don't know that I'm clear on that either, Lynn.
it was almost like the entire commission was gonna be on the subcommittee when we were talking about it last month, so
We definitely need to get that commission going though,
I know.
for
we need to
sure.
get it wrapped up.
I have no problem with Darlene. I mean, sure. But maybe we need to decide who's gonna be on that subcommittee.
Well, at the last meeting, I think
we all-
Karen, myself, and Rufus expressed an interest, but I don't remember. I don't think you were at the meeting. Or
I might not have been there.
Yeah.
Maybe
I wasn't there,
I'm on
and
it
just
ex officio, but
very, very selfishly, the spring is an impossible time for me to start doing more stuff. But
Well,
I
I
do.
mean, I really think a big chunk of the work has already been done by the previous committee. I mean, there's a lot of work that's already been done. I think it's just sort of wrapping things up and making sure we've crossed our i's.
Lynn,
and
do you
dotted
have
every
that?
T.
Do you have
I
that
do.
done?
I do.
Okay, good, good, good,
I
good.
think I'm gonna take myself off because I just started consulting again. So I'm working 4 days a week.
Okay,
Yeah, it's too much for
okay.
Matt, you're gonna be part of it, right?
yes.
It's like a non-voting member, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I just think it's so important for the, yeah. Yeah, all right, I could put me down for it.
Okay,
All right.
okay, so then we're gonna have a committee of Kate, Rufus, Lynn. And what do you guys think about Darlene? You wanna have her on there? I sort of see her as a consultant, but I mean, if she wants to be on the committee, I guess it's okay.
I think she would be a consultant to the committee, not necessarily a committee member.
She's
So-
asking to be a committee member though, so we need to make a decision.
I don't want to say if she wants to be on it. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, but I don't think we need her to be on it, but I think it'd be helpful to have her as as an advisor, as a consultant.
Maybe I'll reach out to her and see if that would be acceptable to her.
Yeah.
And see if she would find.
And it might be helpful to run whatever we come up with, to run it by her.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
you
that
know.
idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was gonna recommend that we run it by the town attorney, because
Yeah.
we're gonna be
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about
100%,
legal
100%.
documents, so.
Gotta do that.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. So I will reach out to her and talk to Rufus about this as well, about seeing if she'll serve as like a consultant
I
advisor.
can't imagine she has any time, free
I know.
time to do anything else.
All right.
And then just one more quick thing on this same topic. Speaking of me being a non-voting member, currently in our bylaws, the Park and Rec director is a voting member. However, I don't meet the criterion to be a voting member of our body. I am neither a resident of Kent nor an elector. So that is why I have been kind of abstaining myself from a lot of the voting. I also find it might be a conflict of interest because I am the director of the department. I am ex officio on this commission because I am the director of the department. And if I were to be voting, it would really drive my own personal interests in the department instead of showing
sense.
expression to you
Yeah.
all. So I'm asking for a motion from the commission to either one, revise the bylaws to state that I am ex officio non-voting, or two, just make it publicly known that I am ex officio non-voting, and it is in the minutes to reflect that. So whatever the commission feels is appropriate, but I just am asking to be recognized in some capacity as a non-voting ex officio member of this commission.
I think that clarity would be great, because I think that it was put into the bylaws with a misnomer that ex officio meant non-voting. And I think
Yep.
I think the same thing might have happened with the selectmen.
Yep.
So I'm happy to make that motion that the Park and Rec Commission recognizes that the director serves as a ex officio non-voting, but you're not really a member.
Does it make more sense for this to kind of emanate or bubble up out of the subcommittee?
See, I think it does, but he's concerned that it's out there and hasn't been resolved.
Wants it to go into effect right now.
Yeah,
As of immediately this meeting, I'm asking.
Yeah,
for
we'll just carve out,
communication
we'll
on
just
this.
carve out Matt Boosie as, make a motion to carve him out of the, considering he said not a,
but is it Matt
Not a
Bussey
resident.
or is Bussey, or is it that the director
Bussey.
is, that is the
Director,
director?
it would be the
director.
director.
See, and we can't really change the bylaws without notifying
well, that's what
everybody,
I mean. So we don't
We're
change
in
the
a-
bylaws.
we're in a
we just make
bind, Matt.
motion.
you know?
Matt,
We-
is it okay with you in the meantime for you to just abstain from the vote, or to say maybe publicly at each meeting that we understand we're operating as if, and we're not going to expect you to vote, or ask you to vote, so that we can then, I think it needs to be changed at the bylaw level before we can just agree right now. But we can still proceed, to honor your request.
Yeah. Or honestly, one thing we can do is just recognize, like Lynn was starting, because then or Lynn was stating, so then I can just say at every meeting, and as long as the commission recognizes that I'm not a voting member of the body, I think that I'm ex officio non-voting entity of the body, because technically I am a member, because ex officio puts me here, thanks to the office of being of Park and Rec, but I'm just asking for the the recognition from the commission, just to really emphasize that things are clean cut, and that a director is not the one that is, I'm not an elector, I'm not a resident of Kent. And I could, make a motion and vote and say, I don't think anything Kent is doing is great, so I'm gonna vote no on everything, and
Yeah.
that derails the department. Or I vote yes on everything when there's a real hot button issue because I have a personal take on it. And I just ask for the commission to just recognize it. So
So a
either,
statement of recognition from the commission right now, and then we can formalize it in the bylaws.
Yeah.
Justin.
that would be beautiful. Yep. So
So Lynn,
Yeah.
you were on it.
I just feel uncomfortable doing this. I mean, I wouldn't mind making that statement at the beginning of each meeting until we get it resolved. But,
Easy. Let's just do it that way then.
yeah,
yeah, we can
because,
do it that way.
um,
I did check with Darlene on this one just quick, because I had the thought today and the other day, and I asked her, and she said that we can make the motion just recognizing it, but totally okay with doing it each meeting, just saying I am not a voting member, or I'm not, I'm abstaining, or however we want it, because I don't necessarily make quorum, or I don't meet quorum, and I feel, it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
treacherous territory if I were to be voting.
Yeah, totally understood.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Make a
really,
statement every meeting.
yeah. All right, yeah, if you guys are okay with that, I think that's what how we should proceed.
Okay.
And make a
Sure.
statement, and it'll light a fire into the subcommittee to actually get the thing fixed.
Yeah, man.
All
So
right,
is-
thank you all. Are we,
So is there a
we have
motion
a
on that one, or
public
is that
comment.
just
We have
totally
we-
just a recognition that I'm doing it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all in agreement. We have consensus that we're in agreement.
Perfect. Thank you.
Is there any additional public comment? Lynn, do you have anything you want to say? Hearing none, we will adjourn at 9:16.
So moved.
Thank you all for all your input, and I know it was a little too long, so. Have a good
Thanks,
night.
everybody.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you all. Have a
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Nice.